Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Fix. Today we have something extremely special for you. This is in a very secret location in the state of Michigan. That's the best I can tell you. But I have for you the 2022 Ford Bronco Raptor. Now, we have actually seen this in early November, but today we are going to give you a full walk around of the vehicle. There'll be no drive impressions, but there will be so much details that you're going to want to stay to the end as we get experts on to tell you about this vehicle, both the design, the chassis, the suspension, the engine, and what we do have for you is also the interior and some of the cool features. Now, there's going to be a limited production of these, so if you're thinking about ordering one and you have a Bronco on order, you will have the first chance to upgrade to a Bronco Raptor. However, like myself, I plan to order one. But if you do, you want to get to your dealer quickly. Orders start in March of 22. If you're watching this at a later date, these are going to be future collectibles, and you certainly want to look into it. Let's take a closer look. Here at Car Coach Reports, we give you more than car reviews and first looks of new vehicles. We give you car smarts, because knowledge is power. Don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell so you don't miss anything.
What we've done, if you take a look at a regular Bronco, we've redesigned basically this whole system for water management and for air management. So it's kind of a crazy thing. And then because we're sucking so much air, we've widened out the inlet, gone to a larger air box. And then if you look at it, it's all dedicated flows to each turbo in and out. So these are high pressure post turbos going down to the charge air cooler. And so by engineering all this analytically, we've dropped the impedance and losses of the induction system by 50%. And so that was big for us, because we wanted to guarantee that those turbos were free moving, right? Anything they lose in induction losses, they cannot hit their peak boost capability, right? So if you can take the load off those turbos and say to our Turbo TS, right, just super smart dudes, hey, I'll give you an induction system that's free flowing, give me a turbo that then can take advantage of that and give me a high horsepower, but give me a high horsepower to guarantee as I go into red line, I got 90% of peak pour all the way to red line, so I keep pulling all the way. So that's, not only is it a 3-liter motor system, but the entire induction system, both we call low pressure and high pressure pre and post turbos, is unique to it. And then the turbo design is unique to this application also.
Okay.
All right, there's a lot of differences in the Bronco and the Bronco Raptor. And besides the fact that it looks obviously cool, can you give us a tour of some of the differences?
Yeah, I think the big thing you notice about the vehicle is the stance. And that has a lot to do with its high-speed stability targets that we do on Raptors. You can see that in the fender flares as we bring out the tires. So we have the same track width as an F-150, so just over 73 inches. We have a unique hood, fender, wheel lips, grille. So on the front end, we really take advantage of that in the appearance of the vehicle to give it a muscular sense. So you can see that in the swoops that go all the way into the unique quarters and rear wheel flares. And in the grille, you can get the legal running lamps, since we're over 80 inches overall, and also the FORD, which is a standard characteristic of the Raptor. We also have unique bash plates to really give us a big approach angle, which is great for charging in the desert at high speeds. And we also bring the rigid fog lamps into the vehicle as we introduce that with the Raptor. So in the rear vehicle, we have unique quarters and rear wheel flares, which also drive us into unique tail lamp. As we're so wide, we got to bring that tail lamp rearward so we can actually legal side vision. We put the bliss system into the tail lamp. We've actually reinforced the spare tire carrier to take the extra weight of the 37-inch tire on the loads that we see when we run in the desert. So that comes with a reinforcement also to the hinge systems and unique hinges to hold that load from the tire.
So inside, because there's a lot of torsional twist, because you've got a bigger, wide, it's a bigger truck, it's wider, it's got so much more power. How are you keeping it from the torsional twist? I'm sure it's a big question people are asking.
Right, and so inside the vehicle, when you look into it, you'll see a brace that would go across the B-pillar. So we put that in there. You still have open air. That's an important area for twist to tie the two B-pillars together. And we also tied the C-pillars into the hydroforms on the back end of the vehicle.
Can you show us that?
Let's give it a shot.
All right, so this is the reinforcement on the C-pillar. Now, I was told it was made of carbon fiber and the B-pillar one is made of aluminum.
Yep, so we used the carbon fiber one on this one because the shape is pretty complex. We always want to keep the weight out of these parts when we put them in high in the vehicle. So it was a great way to combine both steel attachments at the ends with an aluminum attachment from a casting and then a carbon fiber centerpiece. On the B-pillar, it's an extrusion with aluminum cast ends that we weld together, and then we have a cover on it for appearance to kind of blend in with that black nature of the vehicle. Those combined really drive the torsional stiffness of the body itself up by about 50%. And what that's doing for us is the customer drives aggressively. Since the vehicle has a top-off capability, that strength of the body then can react with the chassis and combine together. The customer is then isolated from all those wheel end movements as they drive, highway speeds in the desert. So that was important to us to really have that capability that you felt secure and safe with that wider stance. You also want to feel you can use that performance that's coming from the vehicle.
So this uses the same top on the Bronco Raptor as it does in the regular four-door Bronco as far as the removable top.
Absolutely, right? So we use the same top. It's molding color for the launch here, but it is exactly the same top, same function. And we wanted to make sure the structure was able to take that force from the chassis as you drive fast in the desert and not put it into the top.
Now there's a launch color, it's called Code Orange. Tell us what is special that makes Code Orange and how they make it stand out.
Right, so we wanted a launch color both for the F150 Raptor for its launch here on the Gen 3, and we also wanted that same launch color at Michigan assembly plant for the Bronco Raptor. So it stands out. It's our Raptor unique color for the 22, 23 model year vehicles that we've got coming out. And
this is a 22 Bronco Raptor. And so orders will come in March of 2022. And deliveries are sometime during the summer of 22?
Correct.
Okay. So let's take a look at the chassis itself as far as how it's different. And it has a lot of similarities to the F-150. So there are some chassis differences in the Bronco Raptor than the Bronco, but also it has a lot of similarities to the F-150 Raptor. Can you give us a tour?
Yes. So blue parts are all unique to the Bronco Raptor version versus the base Bronco. Yellow are the unique chassis parts that we have, both front and rear suspension, and kind of give you a general feel of how we do it. Same approach as we do on making an F-150 a Raptor to be a Bronco to be a Raptor. We really want to get the travel as much as possible, so we have 14 inches in the rear, so very similar, about 14 inches on the F-150 Raptor with 37s, and we have 13 inches in the front. So we end up redesigning the towers for that travel. We end up reinforcing those for travel. You'll notice that we actually have two load paths. One Jounce bumper comes through straight into the frame as we get to the end of travel, and we also have a load path through the shock system. And we look at the design of the axle system. The axle system's a Dana 50, so we've upgraded ring gears. We've upgraded pinion. We've gone to unique wider. Since the track width's wider, we have to go to longer tubes. We've made those tubes out of 9mm thick walls to take the loads. We've reinforced the end plate systems to the hubs. All the attachment places for the suspension are unique and reinforced to get that travel as we go through the full sweep. And as you kind of even look at details of what we've done over here, you can see, so you kind of look at this big aluminum part we've got in here. What we had to do is we had so much travel and so much height in the assembly plant to get the full travel to the customer. We actually build this about an inch low and then slide it in the final stages of assembly as we get height in the assembly line to get that full travel. So those are the kind of details we'll go through to get the most travel for the customer.
And the real dual exhaust, look at that.
Yep.
That's
So,
a true dual exhaust.
true dual. So totally unique hot end with a catalyst system, totally unique cold end as we talk. This is active exhaust coming into the Bronco, standard on the Raptors, same approach as we've done on the F-150. We do a pretty complicated little pipe system to guarantee we've got full sound, full capability, full low back pressure when we go wide open throttle in Baja mode, but still have all the capability to meet pass-by noise for legal reasons.
And serious skid plates underneath that cover all the way back from the 10-speed automatic transmission.
Yes.
And underneath everything.
And under the transfer case. So this is transfer case 1, trans, mid-engine, and then we call the front the bash plate. All these are set up based on our targets that we use for Raptor relative to the full weight of the base curb at 100% options, and then we basically point load these to guarantee that they will meet that capability without collapsing. So this is unique for F-150 also, and then we use the same approach on the Bronco Raptor. Again, a silver bash plate to give that appearance, that aggressiveness, but also the functionality.
So is this chassis longer than the regular Bronco, or is the Bronco Raptor the same chassis?
The track is wider, wheelbase is the same. So we, just maybe a couple millimeters different, because as we place this position for travel, it might be a little bit different, but mainly the same general wheelbase. But we spend the time to increase the track and set that up from a suspension system to have that and actually manage loads as we go through that full travel. And you can kind of see as we go into the forward jumper control arm, right, we spend the time to actually design it around the travel package, so you can see the big Y on it, and that's to clear the rest of the body system, but still have the ability to rotate that point through travel for a full 13 inches of travel.
Obviously, these control arms are huge. They look like they belong on an F-450. They're just gargantuan.
Right, and they are key to handle the loads from the shock, and then guarantee at the wheel end positions that we've got that all in a tight end position, because we really don't want a lot of movement at the knuckle ends. Those are all unique. We pull the knuckles pretty much off F-150. The hubs are off an F-150 Raptor. Again, we modified the front axle to take those loads. Half shafts are unique to the Bronco Raptor. Steering gear housings are reinforced. Tie rod ends. The motor's out of an F-150 Raptor. So again, the whole system, the mounting systems are unique and reinforced. Bushings are all unique and reinforced to really take that load as we drive in those Baja circumstances. We're running our 1,000 miles in the Bajas for prove out for Raptor. So we really wanted that high speed capability, and then the front has that extra need as we drive the 37 in a rock crawling situation with a front locker now standard on the vehicle. We have to take that torque on one wheel and really transfer it, and that's why you'll see reinforcement brackets on the axle. Again, inner and outer CVs are unique and reinforced on the shafts going into the housings on the axles.
So tell us about the motor, since there's no motor here.
Yes.
We only know a little bit, so tell us what we got.
So the motor is a 3-liter twin turbo. What we did with that, we refined the intake system, so we spent a lot of time taking out any induction losses. So we've cut the induction losses from the 2.7 in the Bronco by about 50%. And then with our active exhaust system, we've taken about 20% out of the back pressure. We have unique turbos that are then designed to that back pressure and induction losses, so we can spin them up. And that is really what we're targeting, is to guarantee that we have 90% of peak horsepower, 90% of peak power at redline.
So this is a 3-liter
Yep.
V6 twin turbo?
Correct.
And so we're looking at like 400 plus horsepower.
Correct.
But that we have no real numbers, but that's coming out soon.
No, we'll be pushing the limits on that. We don't have to finish that up for another until March. So we'll be running those tests to guarantee we've got the best numbers possible, and we're delivering that for the customer.
Okay, and that's backed by a 10-speed automatic transmission?
Correct. 10-speed automatic transmission, and then we've recalibrated that to take the power. So the torque converter has been modified to take that torque through the system. And again, what we're always trying to do is make sure each bit of torque comes from the motor and gets to the tire patch. So everything's set up around that. So that's a unique drive shaft to do that, and a unique front shaft to do that also, to take that torque continuously.
And those
to
the bigger Danas too, right? You get the
Yep.
Dana 50 in back and a new Dana center section up front as well with new gears.
Correct.
Excellent. Okay, let's take a look at the inside of this car.
All right. So that's performance view.
Okay, and you can change the views on this 12-inch cluster?
Yep. So what we do is we still have drive mode. So I'll go do drive mode. So that's what normal looks like.
Oh, that's cool.
And then it's for off-road.
Yeah.
That's gonna say I'm shifting. And then it has Baja, which is new for us.
Yes, that's what we had when we were on we did the Raptor truck.
Yeah. So we brought that over.
Okay, I love it. Love the graphics. Just makes you feel like you're doing something cool. And
Then
there's
we have rock crawl.
yeah.
So it goes to low for us, and also the stuff. So it all sets up your drive line stuff. We still have performance view, so that exists in everything. So I go back the other way. So we do off-road stuff one way when we do terrain, and then we do the on-roads the other way is how we set them up.
Ah, very crafty. What about the towing mode? That's a new mode.
Yeah, so then we go sport, and then we'll go tow haul.
Oh, neat. It puts a little trailer in there.
Yeah, it's not the big trailer. It's
That's
a little
cool.
one. And
That's
it's an
cool.
off-road trailer.
Well, it's only 4,500 pounds of towing. It's like you're pulling a gooseneck.
That's right. So we initially had a gooseneck on it. It was pretty funny.
That'd be...
It was like, oh, we're going to change that.
That's not going to work, yeah.
It's not going to
I
work.
love it. That's
And it's
really
slippery.
cool. So
And
all the controls are here. This is the new beefier steering wheel, which I really like, and the new additional controls that are on the steering wheel. This is including the exhaust.
Yep, so we have all the selectable. So we bring in the Bronco active exhaust, and then, of course.
I like that. Oh, of course. It wants you to go off-road.
It's fine. We're still in the
Yeah. All right, so we got the Baja,
Yep.
the Quiet, which
Yep.
I will never use, normal and sport, and the Baja, which is like, you said it's like straight pipes?
Yeah, we've opened up the valves all
I
the way.
love it. Love it. And having a Shelby and a Mustang's,
Same approach.
same thing. I love it. Very easy to use. I think the gauges are kind of cool too.
Yeah, so that's performance view. So if I'll go back to, we have the driver assist view, and that's kind of some people will do
Need
that.
the support, are distracted.
Yeah, and so you can configure how you want
I like
it,
that.
trip.
I want to configure.
So that's performance view. So that's one of the views you pick. And then it goes to this. And this is kind of how we set it up. If you're going to be driving fast, we wanted just the basic information that we could get away with. So it's very minimalistic. And then a center tachometer with a big speedo
Love
is
it.
how we did that. So that's the first time we've done it on a Raptor. And so Bronco gets to do that.
Gets the benefit. Oh, look at that. Different trip modes. I see. Cool.
And, what else?
Pitch
Raptor
and roll, off-road, status.
view.
Oh, I like that. What's that? Raptor status.
So that is okay. And then look.
Oh, I see. You can pick.
You pick what goes into your My View.
Oh, look at that. So it shows you the mode that you're driving in.
And it has the mode button. Where's my little R remote button? It's R, and then you hold that, and it'll save it, just like we did on Mustang. So we have so many choices for the customer.
So
like
you can
we
go
do-
right into Raptor mode, bypass the playing around.
Yeah, because people may want, some people may want Baja mode in exhaust, but they want,
And then
steering.
yeah.
They might want sporty or something, or dampers and normal, right? And so you can set up what you want, and then when you get in the car, you just hit the R button twice and it sets it up.
Awesome. Great idea. Now, is there anything else that's different in this vehicle versus the Bronco, which we have reviewed? We've done off-road. We were in the rain with you guys out in Vegas. You got to check out that video.
So again, you know, steering button, so you comfort, normal, sport on steering.
Oh, so you can change all that right there on the fly.
On the fly. And so those are all unique to a Bronco Raptor. And then, you know, we bring in Raptor status screen, My Mode, or Raptor Mode, performance views unique to us.
Does this have a My Key?
Is that My Key? Yeah, I think we have My Key in it.
My Key is when you let your kid use the vehicle or a buddy,
Yeah.
and you limit what they can do with it, so it's not a Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Right.
Which is what I would have fun doing. Yeah, I'll borrow your vehicle.
So we bring in gauges. So
Nice.
the same as we do for F-150.
Linear gauges, yeah.
Yep. And then we also do measurements, which is what we do on F-150 too. So we put all the stuff.
Good information.
And so those are available.
Especially if you're towing.
Yep. And so it gives you that capability, both for gauges, measurements, your status screen, performance view, tow haul, Baja, paddles are live and drive, right? So we bring paddles into the vehicle.
Yeah, these are magnesium, you said?
Yep, they're magnesium.
That's crazy. Sorry, this is a little toasty. So why did they decide to make these out of magnesium when you could have made them out of aluminum or a million other
Lightweight and stiff, so we brought that over from F-150 Raptor, and we've used the magnesiums on the Shelbys also, so that's the approach we've taken to
Let's
get...
not show that. Okay, we won't show the top of the steering wheel. Go ahead.
That's in essence the best way to get stiffness as you feel it, and then lightweight because it's on the steering wheel, and any weight you put on the steering wheel ends up being magnified for vibration. So we really want to keep the weight down on the wheel.
Cool. Now this center screen is huge.
Yep.
This is just shy of 13 inches?
I think so.
I
Not
believe
sure.
So. I believe so, and I'll have the specs additionally. And of course, the more orange details. Now, what is different on the center screen for Bronco Raptor versus the regular Bronco?
I think it's in essence we have a Raptor splash screen, but this truck's not showing it for some reason.
Off-road status, pitch and roll.
Yeah, I think these are all the same as what would be on a base Bronco. We didn't change a lot on the what we call the sync system in here. So that's all.
So that's good. So your navigation and in the apps mode, that's all the same, and the features has towing added.
Yeah, so we'll pick
It's a higher towing capacity.
Right, trailer sway control. That'll be on a base Bronco though too. So you know the owner's manual is going to be different for us, but driver assist, it's the same suite. We didn't add or delete any of the
I love how
suite.
you describe them. Like people go, well, what does that do? And you actually have a video showing. I think that's great because a lot of people don't know what it is and they shut it off or turn it on. They don't even know what the heck they're talking about. But this way it explains it. Whoever came up with that idea deserves a bonus.
And then we have the same buttons where we are same as what a high spec Bronco will have, with basically the locker in the front, locker in the rear, disconnectable stay bar,
a mount for your GoPro, and a charging port for your radar detector, which you're going to need in this vehicle. Let's take a tour of the interior. There are some big changes.
Yeah, so when we started off the project, a lot of the testing, people were going out into Johnson Valley and coming back bruised. So we did as much as we could to give everybody a little bit more comfort as well as more sporting feel. So we've got the Ford Performance bolstered seats that are unique to Bronco Raptor. They give a little more support, keep you in place. There's a suede material that's available in the premium that also, kind of keeps you in place. We've got the Ford Bronco unique steering wheel section that or the Bronco Raptor unique steering wheel section. It's the same wheel that we have in the base Bronco, but we've added a much more robust rim section for more sporting feel, as well as the carbon fiber accents around the bezeling and the magnesium paddle shifters.
Those are real magnesium.
Yep, they are.
That's an expensive material to be playing with.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, so that with the satin carbon fiber, basically all your touch points are carbon fiber, right? Is from the
Real
grab
carbon
handles.
fiber? That's real carbon fiber.
Real carbon fiber.
That's cool.
All the way down to the shifter with these little subtle accents on there, the Bronco and the American flag, as well as all the grab handles. Those are all unique. They've got the code orange accent within them.
I see. That's nice.
Much more robust. And everything in this vehicle was basically added to increase the performance of it and just the tactile feel. You've got the unique little badging down here that lets you know this is a special Bronco. It's different than the base. It looks more like the front end of the vehicle you're in, as well as the code orange accents on the goat mode shifter. I think one of the big, the key things that we added to this were a Bebo brace and a Cibo brace that I think you talked about earlier.
Right.
The Bebo brace is an aluminum extrusion with some cast cat ends that basically gives you just 50% more rigidity. Another thing we noticed when we were testing out in the desert was that, these things were torsionally twisting all over the place. So we wanted to give you as much rigidity as you'd get in the bigger brother Bronco or F150 Raptor. It's hard taking a convertible off-road, so that those give you a lot more stiffness and rigidity. Yep. So along with the different rim section and the bezeling here, we've got these additional switch packs. You've got your suspension modes here, your exhaust modes, the Raptor modes, and your steering wheel modes to kind of give you the variation between a more sporty and comfortable sort of ride.
If you got value from this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. We will be taking the Bronco Raptor out on the road and an off-road course. That'll be coming in the very near future. We're still asking questions for you, such as, are we going to see a Raptor R? That would be in the truck version. So hopefully we'll see that as well. That's supposed to be coming out soon. We've had lots of promises. The chip shortage has really put a squash on us. So if you want to learn more about the chip shortage and how that's impacting the industry and impacting your choices, check out our channel. We have a lot of videos on that as well. We will also be covering a lot of these details on our podcast, which is called Total Car Score. It's available on all platforms. Check out our website, Car Coach Reports, in English and Spanish, where we also have a review of the full-size Bronco and the Bronco Sport of different trim levels, so you can find what meets your needs. If you're looking at other brands, we cover that as well. And of course, we appreciate your time, and thank you so much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you next time.